Welcome to the Advertising Forum. This is episode 4 of our Future is Live series, sponsored by FreeWheel.
With us today is Cara Lewis, Chief Investment and Activation Officer at Dentsu. Cara is joining us today to chat about all things live. Cara, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here again.
I know.
We love that you're here again, Cara. This is amazing that you recorded earlier in the year, and you are a fan favorite. So thank you.
Oh, I like that. Thank you. I was a little worried about being here too soon after the last, but thanks.
You can't have enough Cara Lewis in your podcast, that's for sure.
Hopefully my kids and my husband think that too.
Cara, we chatted with you a little bit prior to recording, and we talked about the importance of live. We talked about how it's a big talking point in the industry overall right now. So I wanted to ask you, and for our listeners, what does make it so valuable to your clients to work with live content and live streaming?
I mean, I don't think it's any shock or anything to anyone that live is real time. And probably really attention grabbing. And so Dentsu stands behind the attention economy, and we want our, consumers that our clients are trying to reach to be really attentive. So I think live brings some of that attention into it because they're going there to see real time results, to see the real time entertainment, and to see and be in on that social discussion, which is super, super important to culture today, right? Like everything that's happening, you don't want to find out that X player, X team won or scored the winning basket after it happened. So a lot of people really are going back to that attention. I think we saw when we lost it during COVID, right? Like when sports weren't on, people were they wanted that. They wanted sports back.
Yeah, there's so much emotion behind it. There's so much engagement and focus on live that's totally different than something like video on demand where it's available at any time.
Yeah. I would also say, I mentioned sports, but I would also say something the Met Gala Awards, right? People want to see those outfits in real time that all of the stars and the celebrities and the influencers are bringing to that red carpet.
It's the communal aspect where we're all watching something together, and it's community.
Absolutely.
Cara, when we talk about live in the traditional sense, and now we're moving over into a programmatic aspect of live, how are you at Dentsu using programmatic to access this inventory today, and how are you using that for your clients overall?
Programmatic is really that red thread, and we've been doing some things internally at Dentsu of where does I oversee all the channels, and where does every channel sit, and what areas in each channel overlap, because there's so much overlap with social and video and search, all of those things kind of, connected and coming together. And I think programmatic is the one red thread that sits in all of them, right? Making it a biddable environment, buying better efficiencies because you're buying against the audiences. So truly that red thread in the channel is where kind of programmatic sits. And I think every single team and team member needs to be trained on programmatic because it's super important to the overall ecosystem of how we want to engage and be in that biddable environment, buying against the audiences that our clients are trying to reach.
We talked about the engagement aspect, the communal aspect of live, and overall, when you talk to your clients about buying the ads, how has programmatic changed the way they do that? And what are those benefits to your clients?
I mean, I think programmatic has changed the way in which we look at it because there are a lot of different partners that you could partner with from both the DSP side and then the SSP side. And then also bringing all the linear into it, which your first question was live, right? And you'll get there in terms of who in the landscape, again, all of the channels coming together, how are they selling it? So I think the understanding of programmatic, the understanding of how it works, the understanding of how, your audiences can be kind of woven through. What is the biddable environment? What are the pros and cons of buying through that environment? What are the losses? I think some clients might ask, well, what am I losing if I don't buy it direct? And I think that that's a big question that some clients ask today, but then also what are the benefits to buying it in that programmatic biddable environment?
So that's such a good tie-in into the next question that we want to talk about. From an agency perspective, where you're sitting at Dentsu, do live and programmatic work well together? How do you weave those two together in a way where the two complement each other so well?
I think it's really truly how like programmatic has changed live. And I think it's because, before live was not able to be in that environment in programmatic, right? And so programmatic is really changing how we look at that inventory. We were talking about this a little bit before, but fun fact, when I was thinking about some of the questions, I was like, when was that ESPN Sports Center live programmatic ad sold, right? And I was like, that was a couple years ago. It was 2015.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I knew I was going to shock you by that too. That is crazy to me, that happened back then. I mean, at least that's what happened when I Googled it, but, cause I couldn't remember myself when the year was, but I truly think that, it's making live accessible to everyone, because a lot of clients think about live and they're like, I can't afford that. Or there's big package prices, right? But now if it's in programmatic, a lot more clients can afford it. And it brings a lot more clients to the table. And that opens up to those who sell the live inventory to get more advertisers on board.
Absolutely. It changes the game for everybody. And when you're sitting across a portfolio of amazing brands that partner with Dentsu, how do you decide which clients make the most sense for different live opportunities? There are so many live opportunities taking place. When we just talked with NBCU, when we spoke with FreeWheel, in both other pods, it came up in conversation that there were 600 live opportunities during one of the pods. Another pod, just the billions of transactions that are taking place each day. It's mind-boggling. So when you're sitting across such a robust portfolio, when you're talking to all of your different teams and clients, would love to have a better understanding of the strategy.
I mean, I think it all starts with the brief, right? And the brief is super important. And I think the brief can now be ingested in different ways in terms of making sure that that's actually where we want to go to, is, reaching consumers in that live environment, which again, if you want to be attentive and you want to get all those things, you can be. But I think it starts with the brief. It's then how do we build the strategy? It's where is the audience and like, what is the need? What do they truly want? Do they want to be in that environment? And is the audience showing up in that environment? And it'll depend, because every single live event, or, whether that's an award show or that's a sport or it's, some music concert or something, it all can be very different. And does it fit in with the brief and the strategy? And I think that that's the most important thing.
So as we're talking about the brief, we're talking about the strategy. The series here is all about live, and FreeWheel being one of the top leaders with all things live. How are you working with FreeWheel, and what do they bring to the approach for the partnership across Dentsu?
FreeWheel's been a great partner. I think there's been a lot of growing with them. And I think, the way in which we've both come to the table, allowing them to see what we need strategically, allowing them to bring what they can from a product and a solution standpoint strategically to our businesses, and allowing us to be innovative. I mean, our slogan is innovating to impact, right? Like, we want to make an impact for our clients by innovating. So how can we, with a partnership like FreeWheel, really bring from both ends that to a table? And I think that that's what we're doing. And now we can do it across the full marketplace, because they're essentially partnering with all of the partners that we want to. And we can do it in like some seamless ways in terms of like one-stop discussion with them, because our partnership's based on that.
It's, as you mentioned, it's all about the innovation. And so what you're doing with the FreeWheel team is pretty exciting. Cara, this has been an awesome conversation. We appreciate you doing this again with us. This wraps up our series sponsored by FreeWheel. The future is live. We've talked about it today. We really appreciate you being here, and we appreciate the content. So thank you very much.
Thanks for having me, and go Yanks.
Thanks, Cara.
Go Cubs.